Then somebody say, well, man, I ain't know. Well, that's why the Lord got servants out here.
That's it.
All right, so the Lord will make sure He come to you now, whether you ready. Because a lot of times we don't know the time of our visitation. You don't know when to look. Because He said you ain't gonna see me no more until you say, "Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord." Is when the Lord is coming your way. So you just think, man, if God got Himself, well, He done sent the servant your way. So if He don't receive you, doesn't receive me. That's how the Lord has set up the authority of His servants. See, people say, man, I ain't got to hear you. Well, if you don't hear the one that the Lord sent, you don't hear the Lord. Because He got the message.
Thank you.
But people say, man, I ain't trying to hear all that. Okay. I got news for you. Like the Lord said, He said, if you don't believe what the Lord said, if you don't believe that I'm He, you're going to die in your sins.
Yes, He did.
But He done made a way. He done made it. Well, people don't want to go that way. All right, so He's telling you right here, this is going to go down. And, you got some, church folks scared. For what? Scared of what?
Scared of what? There's no reason for that.
Look, He said, what the scripture says in Psalm, you should not fear what man should do to you. If we got fear, man, that's a problem.
That's what we think.
He said the Lord ain't giving us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So what we doing scared? Staying in the house. For what? What the house going to do for you? Whoa. Look, He said, there should no plague come nigh your dwelling. Why am I scared? Walking around scared. I'm not a saint being scared. We got the wrong spirit.
There you go.
He said He didn't give us a spirit of fear, but of power.
Yes, sir.
Look, the Lord wasn't scared of nothing. The Lord ain't afraid of nobody. That's why we said last week, we hide behind Big Dad. Ain't nobody strong enough and bad enough to take him down.
Come on.
Ain't gonna happen. Even though they speak against, they can speak against all you want. But He said the Lord shall have them in derision. That's Psalm 2. Said the Lord shall sit in the heavens and laugh. Whoa, boy.
Yes,
All right. Okay, so here we go. He says, all right, so this is going to go on into the consummation. So let's get 2 Thessalonians. We'll get 2 Thessalonians. So He's showing you 6 to 9. The Lord have determined the time period. The 70 weeks of years. He's going to talk about the literal weeks. So, but the 1 week has yet to be fulfilled. So give me 2 Thessalonians. We're going to see how the Apostle Paul picks back up on it. I believe it's the 2nd chapter of 2 Thessalonians. All right, let's see here. All right, you got it?
2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. Yes, sir.
All right, we have those of you following us on 2 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, letter of Paul to the Thessalonians, and 2nd chapter, verse 1. What do you say?
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, and by our gathering together unto Him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, and the son of perdition.
All right, we're right there. All right, those of you following, says, so this goes along, if you look at the first Thessalonians, which a lot of people are very familiar, said, but you got to line this up is what we're saying. So like following 1 Thessalonians 4, when he was talking about the Lord shall descend from heaven, everybody won't just read the good parts. Say, all right, the Lord shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, with the trump of God, the dead in Christ shall rise. All right, so those of you very familiar with that scripture, but now notice in 1 Thessalonians, right after he said that, when he said comfort one another with these words, 4th chapter of Thessalonians, verse 18, then he goes down in chapter 5, verse 1 and said, but of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write to you. So then he goes into about the day of the Lord. So all that ain't just something that's gonna happen out the blue. It's some things that's gonna transpire first.
Mm-hmm.
So the times, we got to know the times and the seasons. All this stuff is playing it out. It's playing out. All this virus stuff, all this is setting the stage because this is going to play out like the Lord already said.
Yes.
So that's what we're saying.
Yes.
So he goes into. Before I'm gonna jump back into Second Thessalonians in a second, but for 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, he says, when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. So this is following what he said in 1 Thessalonians 4. So that ain't going to happen until this goes down and all this is playing. That's what the kings of the earth are doing. So he said, why they say peace and safety, that's what they forming, this one world government they taking out. So you look at how this so to speak pandemic, look at what they're doing. So they're going to see how the world responds to, okay, let's see, this is the first time ever, and I'm 52 years old, never seen churches shut down. So people are not looking at the signs of the time. This is nothing but a test of what's getting to go down.
Come on, tell me.
All right, so if you look at how we're going to see how the world responds to this global, so to speak, pandemic, or whatever you want to call it. All right, but everybody's complying. So when the real thing hits, oh, you're going to be doing the same thing. See, that's what I say. People, you can't get blinded. What do you say? You can't see the forest for the trees. You know, you can't get blinded by all these events. See, the enemy is subtle. You know, he's not going to come and just throw something out there, bam. And no, he's subtle with it. You know, he put one thing in there, let it work. You know, put another thing in there, let that work. You say the enemy got patience. People just think, you know, no, the enemy has plenty of patience. See, that's how it is. These things are not going to be presented all at just one time. You just woke up one day and say, oh, listen, no, it ain't going to happen like that. It's stages. It's, you know, you look at what's going on, okay. All right, so, all right, now we're going to let's go back to 2 Thessalonians. So it says that the day of the coming of the Lord, now gathering together, which that goes with 1 Thessalonians 4. Our gathering together unto him. This ain't going to happen till the man of sin is revealed. That's what Revelation tells you. So the 1 week is the 7 years, and that's consistent through the scriptures,
yes,
is dealing with the day of the Lord.
Yes.
All right, but the actual wrath is not going to be poured out. When you look at Revelations, the last 3.5 years is when all the woes and all the vials and all that stuff gets poured out. That's during the last 3.5 years of it. That's why he says, in what we just read in Daniel, those of you following us, 9:25, when he says, he shall cause the sacrificing oblations to cease. And then the overspreading of abominations. So it's the man of sin. And so let's go back to 2 Thessalonians. This is what's getting ready to come after the Lord get his. This is what comes. Some people just say, well, I ain't worried about that. But you're going to have to be, because the scriptures tell me, we're going to go to Revelation 3 in a minute, because he said that if we obey the Lord and do what he said, that he's going to keep us from the hour of temptations which shall try all them that dwell on the face of the earth. So it ain't no escape. So you can already see, it's already forming. People just, they don't want to see it. Especially over in their marriage, they're having too much fun. Too much fun. Man, I ain't worried about that. Let's think about something. Let's go to Disney World. Look, when the fire is falling, I guarantee you ain't going to be trying to go to the beach or anywhere else. Look, you can be trying to take cover. But see, it can be too late then. That's why the Lord gives plenty of warning. You know, long before the storm, when they say, they didn't name the hurricane, say, Storm Jesus is coming. Woo! With gale force winds that you can't even measure.
Man.
I'm trying to tell you, man. That's what we're trying to tell. Look, we got it on radar. Look, let's get practical with it. We got it on radar. The storm Jesus is coming. And so we must prepare ourselves. I don't see nothing. See? See, look, it said, man, the sun is shining, ain't a cloud in the sky. All right? Let's go back to 2 Thessalonians. Notice what's going to happen here. It says, verse 4, what he said? About the man of sin this is going to take over, and the Lord is going to allow it to be. What he said?
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
This is what's going to happen And we're gonna let me see. All right, this is what's gonna happen. When the Lord said, and that's why He says there's a timeline as far as when He says the fullness of the Gentiles coming in. Apostle Paul picked up on Romans and tells us when the fullness of the Gentiles come in, then, and then the Lord will say, when this gospel of the kingdom must first be preached among all nations, and then the end's gonna come.
And then.
All right, so this right here is going to. This is what's going to sweep up everything that the Lord didn't get. And people just say it don't pertain to me, but it says everybody that's dwelling on it is going to comply to this. It's already the stages is already being set. Mm-hmm. People don't see it though. It is like, oh, who in the world I've never seen in my lifetime you walking around with masks. And I've been in the military for 10 years when we had CBR defense drills. And all that. Those of you who are prior military, you know what I'm talking about. But never have you seen. So a lot of times people are not looking at the signs. They just say, oh, well, let's just go along with it. But they fail to, he said, what did the Lord say? You can discern the face of the sky, but fail to discern the signs of the times. All right. So this is what's going to happen here. So the man is saying, that's what I said in Daniel's 9:25 we just read. He shall confirm a covenant. So just to tell you, so if you're sitting in the temple of God, I mean the temple is already been. If you look at those of you doing your research, the third temple is being rebuilt, and so all this is taking place, and they're going to start doing the sacrifices all over the unbelieving Jews that still don't believe the Messiah has came, right? This he said he's going to confirm a covenant.
Confirm it.
The man of sin is going to confirm a covenant.
Yes.
Right, and then it says he's going to sit in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
There you go.
So you got the Nation of Islam is looking for the Mahdi. Those of you who studied up on that end of it, they're looking for the successor to Muhammad. Mm-hmm. And then you got the unbelieving Jews that are still looking for the Messiah to come. And he came and gone. All right. So this is what's going to happen. So you look down. I'm going to skip down here. It says, look at verse 9. Look at verse 9. Well, give me verse 7. Give me verse 7. What is it?
Verse 7.
You got about 15 minutes.
Second chapter.
What is it?
For the mystery of iniquity does already work.
All right, this is in Paul's time. All right, go ahead.
Only he who liveth will not until he be taken out of the way.
All right, what is suppressing this thing from unleashing? It's the Lord, because the Lord is getting. He's getting it, his remnant ready. That's what he's doing. He's getting his remnant ready. All right, so that's what's suppressing this from really taking full effect is the Lord. And when God moves out the way, then this is going to unleash. So then what he say in verse 8?
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
All right, so we just read. Now we'll look at this in verse 9. What do you say?
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
And lying wonders, right? But see, here's what we're going to show. Just like Daniel 12 tell you, the wicked shall never understand. So you're going to think this is for real.
Thank you.
See, he said, a lying, you can't discern what a lying wonder is if you ain't been quickened by the Holy Ghost. You cannot discern what's getting ready to take place on this world if you are not quickened by the Lord. This is what we're telling people. All right, so he said his coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs. So you're going to have it all. All right, you're going to have it. And then it said, what he say in verse 10?
And with all deceitfulness and unrighteousness in them that perish.
Right, and then what?
Because they receive not the love of the truth, that they may be saved.
All right, here we go. So those of you who are saying, oh, I ain't worried about that, that don't pertain to me, this is what's going to happen to the individuals that do not have the love of the truth.
Yes, sir.
Right, they're going to be swept up into this thing because, what's the reason? Because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved, and this is why we getting out here harping, laboring like we're doing, and all the rest of the Lord's servants all across the world is doing, that people might make it in, so because we know what's coming behind it.
Right.
We know what's coming behind it. This ain't a thing where I ain't worried about that. I'll catch the next boat. It ain't no next boat.
Gotta do it now.
See? All right, so he says, and what he said, verse 11. Now, and then this is what we tell people that they ain't trying to hear this. They got a deaf ear to this. Right, there's nobody strong enough to not to be partaken by God's. He gonna send them strong delusion. There's nobody power enough to shake that. Nobody. What do he say in verse 11?
And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion.
That what?
That they shall believe a lie.
All right, now there's not a person on this world that's standing on the face of this earth that's able to shake anything that God. Ain't nobody able to do it. Somebody said, no, ain't nobody strong enough to resist the hand of God. Nobody. So that means if you don't get in on the first thing, if you don't receive the love of the truth and let the Lord take you on in here, right? This is what's coming, and the Lord is going to send the Lord. Ain't nobody power enough to shake it. I've seen people now that have been in the Lord and they got out, and a demon get on them and they can't shake it for nothing. I've seen it. People got cracked demons and everything. I haven't seen it. But we know what we're talking about. And you can't shake a demon on you if God don't get in the stronger spirit got to take the weaker spirit out. And if God done moved off you, that demon is going to remain and it's going to take you out of here. We know what we're talking about.
Yes.
See, so that's why the Lord said, you get out of this thing, 7 devils. 7 devils. And ain't nobody power enough to shake that stuff. I done met, but I'm talking about what I know. I've talked with people that have been in the Lord and get out of the Lord. Next thing you know, they got something they can't shake. See, in other words, the Lord ain't nobody to play with. All right, if he said he going to send strong delusion, that means you going to be deceived.
Come on.
All right, give me Revelation 3. I'm going to show you. See, anytime God is there, ain't nobody power enough to shake this stuff. Look, man, I stuck my toe, bro. I'm ready to go to the doctor. I said, boy, no, I can't take the pain, man. Look, this, you can't shake it, man. Revelation 3, what do you say? This is how serious it is. I say, but see, and we understand the character of the Most High, that the Lord is a gentleman. We understand that. We understand, and we don't take that lightly. However, you got people that are abusing the gentleness of the Lord, the goodness of the Lord. They're abusing it and taking it for granted. It ain't gonna always be. That's what we're telling people. It's not gonna always be like it is. All right. So he says, let me see where we at. 3. Revelation 3, and he's telling the church in Philadelphia. So he says in verse 10, what do he say? Chapter 3, Revelation. Listen, what do he say?
Verse 10. Because thou hast kept my word and of my patience, and I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
There it is. There it is. So we obey the Lord. What's our reward? You know, look, can you imagine staying in church for so many years and then you got to be faced with this. You know, because he said, but if we obey the Lord, our reward is that we ain't going to be deceived with the wicked, because this is going to happen. He said, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation. That's what we just got through talking about. That the 70 weeks, that's a prophecy. The last week have yet to be fulfilled. Right? Then the Lord will come back and say, the man of sin, he's going to cause the sacrifice and oblations to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate. So what does it mean? The abomination of desolation means your soul is in desolation. That's what's going to happen.
Man.
That's what I mean by the abomination. In other words, you're going to be desolate. What? From God. See, we got to understand what the Lord is saying here. What does it mean? The abomination. Let's give me Matthew then. We got a couple of minutes. So he's telling us this is the promise that we can take hold to in chapter 3, verse 10. And this stuff is setting the stage. So we tell people, this don't happen overnight. Just like they say Rome wasn't built overnight. The way this thing's going to play out is not going to happen overnight. It ain't going to happen in 1 week. You know, the Apostle Paul said, we just read in Thessalonians, the mystery of iniquity is already working in his day. Oh, it's taking full bloom. It's happening right in front of our faces. But if we ain't paying attention, we're just going to go right on into it.
Run into it. Line.
So he said, if you don't watch, then that's when he said the thief is going to come and will suffer. Your house is going to be broken up. All right, let's get Matthew 24. Let me see. 24. All right, we're going to the Gospels here. All right, those of you following us on, we got a couple of minutes. All right, so we hadn't even intended on working on this today, but you know the Lord knows we just do it. You know, we be moved by the Lord, so we don't get into trying to have our own private agenda and all this.
Right.
We leave it open to the Lord, whatever got to be said. So, all right. So he says. So they asked him. The disciples asked him the question. They admired how the temple was built and all the garnishings and the gifts and everything. So then they came upon and says, then the Lord said, in the early part of that chapter, he says, "See all these things that I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down." So he told them, and they said, "Well, when is this going to happen? Tell us when these things should be. What should be the sign of your coming and the end of the world?" So that's why Daniel's 9:25 says that this is going to happen in the end, because he said this is going to happen even until the consummation. The consummation means the end of all things. Those that do iniquity is going to all be cast into a furnace of fire. That's talking about eternal judgment. So he said the Lord is going to make an end of sins. He's going to make an end of it. It ain't going to keep on. People say, man, look, they said that Valerie Boyd made the song back and say, grinning, people grinning and sinning. That's what they're doing now. They ain't got no shame. All out in the open, just doing whatever. No, it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. All right, so then he says, he said, we verse 11 down. We got a couple minutes there. Verse 11 on down to 15, Matthew 24.
"And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold."
All right, you see what's happening. Sin is taking over, and then people's love, toward the Lord is getting cold. Man, I don't see these people getting over. They doing whatever. If we keep our eyes on that, then we're gonna lose focus.
Yep.
Then say, man, it seems like they got the upper hand. Look, these sinners is out here prospering. Look, I'm out here struggling. Look, these people are living up, cars, houses, and everything. Look, I worked at one hotel back in the Renaissance Hotel in Raleigh. So they had one of these rappers come in there. Said the man had so much money, he was throwing $100 bills all over the place. And we out here struggling.
Yes.
But it's coming to an end. See, that's what the Lord is saying. See, all right. So what does he say?
24.
Verse 13.
Verse 13. "And he shall endure to the end. The same shall be saved.
All right. Then what does he say?
And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come."
All right. There it is. So that's what the Lord got servants out. And that's what we're doing. He said the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. It don't necessarily mean you're going to receive it.
Right.
But it's going to be told for a witness unto all nations. And then the end is going to come. All right, so what do you say in verse 15? We got about a minute.
"When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand."
All right, there it is. So we just said that, Daniel 9, verse 25. The man of sin is going to come in and cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And he's going to stand in the holy place. Right? So that's why it says, Thessalonians picks up and says, he's going to sit in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Mm-hmm. This is going to take place after the Lord get his number. When the fullness of the Gentiles come in, he said the gospel of the kingdom must first be preached for a witness unto all nations, and then the end's going to come. And we got to wrap it up. As Ann said, we got to go. Yep. All right, till the next time. The Lord be with you.
How you all do?